It's restart day, baby. Let's get into it. We're going to be talking about everything that you need to know to prepare for the global launch that's just around the corner later today. With this tips and tricks, you are going to be able to min-max your day one so you don't break your account and be a day behind everybody. By the end of this, hopefully you should feel confident going into it. There's so many resources that we have for you guys, so there shouldn't be any way that you should be able to break your accounts and you should be off to the races. The first thing that you need to keep in mind is to follow the checklist. I have a spreadsheet down below. There's even a video going over it, so feel free to check that out. I'll leave a link to that below. Follow it. Just follow it. It's safe. It's a checklist that tells you where you need to be, when you need to be there, what to focus on, all the information that you need piled into one video. If you don't follow it, you're only hurting yourself. Don't make that mistake. Just follow the guide and join a guild. It doesn't matter if you're with randoms or if you're with the best players in the world. You should be joining a guild. You get stability, which is the stamina in this game, just checking in. And they're even buffing it. They're making it so you can check in. I believe it's like at least one other time today. We don't know how many. We'll know once it goes live. So join a guild. You also get a bunch of rewards just from doing the guild bosses and the weekly quests. You can get up to 480 extra stamina, and that's not even including the daily check-ins. Do not tunnel on only SSRs. SSRs require very high amount of investment. You want to also utilize the broken SRs in this game. SRs were so broken that there was more nerfs to SRs, and pretty much every SSR got buffed except for a few that did get a few nerfs, but it was very rare. The reason why is SRs, you get so much more of the lattice material early game. You want to abuse that. You want to abuse the broken ones. They are going to be your real way to progress. It doesn't matter if you're a free-to-play player, a light spender, a whale, or a goddamn Leviathan. You are going to be using the broken SRs just like everyone else. Otherwise, you are going to feel the pain of just tunneling all in on the SSRs. Save your targeted summon. You really shouldn't ever be using your targeted summon unless you're a whale and you're just finishing off the last character that you haven't pulled for or the last dupe you haven't gotten to 555 all of the dupes in the game, because guess what? Dupes matter. Otherwise, you should be saving your targeted summon. You really shouldn't be able to touch your targeted summon until about day 3, where I would recommend picking Ramolka for the most part if you haven't already gotten her. Other than that, save your targeted summon. Just hold it as long as you can until you need to do it to progress through something, which will probably end up being Doki Doki. So yeah, just keep that. Don't waste it. Also, build Leanne. I know that she's the first character and everyone sees a free character. She is broken. You need to build her. She's amazing for all your PvE progression. The game literally has designed with it in mind that you are going to be building and using her no matter who you are. This is again one of those situations. Also with Gray, doesn't matter if you're a whale, doesn't matter if you're free to play. We're all the same. We're all in the same boat. Build Leanne, build Gray. Don't mess up. Skill prowesses. Once you complete the chapter 10 story, which I think is chapter 5, you will unlock GP Outpost. You're going to want to make sure that all the characters that you're actually using have at least their flat stats raised. You don't need to have lattices to level these up. You can farm the GP Outposts, their trace materials, and you can use them to skill up all your characters, and this gives flat stats that build upon it. So even when you use modules and stuff, this will be multiplying that. This can be anything like the skill 1 gives attack for all your characters. You get defense and HP. Pretty much it's just going to be a very quick, easy, and stat efficient bonus to empower your account. Definitely make sure to prioritize it, but don't go too ham on it because you really don't want to do too ham in the day 1. Try to make a nice balance between that and also prioritizing your Hyperlink Chronicle. This is your bread and butter. You should be following this and you should be able to get to the point where at the end of day 1, you're looking at your Hyperlink Chronicle and you're like, damn, it literally says I have to be a higher account level to do anything. In order to unlock the thing that they want me to beat, or just straight up to get the quest done, it says be a certain level. When you're up to that point, it means that you've done a good job at prioritizing your Hyperlink Chronicle. If you aren't at that point, it means you're either behind because you've made a mistakes otherwise by not following the guide, or you just need to do it now. Just do it now. We have plenty of guides for this. It's all linked down below. Again, there's no way you should be messing this up. Shells are always way more important than your modules, mostly early on. Quite a few reasons why, but we'll go over that. TLDR is you're gonna want to farm your shells, even the crappy blue ones at the start. Farm them up. They're the most efficient. You have to do it anyway to complete the Hyperlink Chronicle quest. So when you get to those, use that as an opportunity to finish your shell, raise them, and then feel free to sell them when you're upgrading to your purples. Eventually, you're going to get to level 13 on day 1. If you're refreshing, maybe, I don't know if you do it if you don't refresh. Apati is going to be the first one that you're going to actually farm. She drops 3 really good shells. That middle one, the Doji, really great on your Leanne. The Budo Panda is amazing on Gray, and the White Gale is great on characters like Dinah, Marvel, pretty much any debuffer. These are really good shells that are going to help carry you through the first 3 days of the game until you unlock Fabian, who will be your next progression point, which don't worry, when we get to that day, I'll definitely be making guides on why you should be building them and how hard you should be farming Fabian. That's just because shells are the #1 most important thing in this game. Don't make that mistake. If you ever feel like you're too weak, you should be making sure your shells are up to date. The only thing you shouldn't be wasting on your shells is re-rolling those passives. Those passive stats early on are the biggest bait. Just ignore them. If you happen to roll a good one, just naturally as you level up, you'll get them unlocked and they come with a free roll. Just be happy about it. Do not waste on them because you don't get resources back when you recycle from what you spent on the passive effect. When you ascend and you also level them up and everything, those resources, you do get a percentage of it back when you do recycle them. So when you're building your next one, you actually are able to get a lot more value out of it. Don't re-roll your passive effects, but feel free to invest as much as you can into your shell outside of that. Pretty much the only time you're ever going to really be re-rolling is when Hyperlink Chronicle quests say, hey, you need to get this on your shell or reconfigure a certain amount of times, or when you start unlocking mythics, which won't be for a little bit. So don't worry about that. We'll make a shell guide when we get closer to unlocking the really good ones. Early modules suck. You just shouldn't be investing into these. Mostly the blues, don't even touch them, but your purples, you can +6 these. Eventually you're gonna have to push a little bit. That's where you're gonna +9 them, and I really wanna do it otherwise. Again, the only time I would break this rule is if the Hyperlink Chronicle quest says you have to do it. Then feel free to invest into your modules up to exactly where it says. So if it says, I expect you to have +12 of a certain rarity module, feel free to +12 those rarity modules so you can complete that Hyperlink Chronicle quest and move forward, because that's the game telling you you have to be at this point to progress anyway. So that's a good opportunity to do it. Make sure to prioritize doing it for your DPS gear, because that is going to be the gear that's going to give you the most value and being able to use the least amount of resources but get the most amount of value possible. Additionally, you just got to remember when you recycle your modules, you only get 45% of those resources that you spent back, compared to, like I said, those shells that give 70%. So shells over modules, make sure to get it right. Don't mess up the order. Doesn't matter what anyone else tells you, they're wrong. I guarantee it. You will regret that decision every single day of the week. But most importantly, let's finish this off. Don't hit the story mobs. They waste 5 stability. If you can avoid them, then you should avoid them. You should only touch them if you get unlucky and you get caught, or because you messed up. Not really a luck issue, that's a skill issue, or if the story says you have to beat this mob to progress it. Additionally, don't miss out on the story chests. They give pools, gems, a bunch of currency, and even some free gear that you can use in the early game. You shouldn't be skipping these at all. And also, don't be afraid to do arena. You will unlock arena on day 1. At least if you refresh, you'll unlock arena on day 1, but don't be afraid to do it. The shop is so important, and missing out on those rewards is just terrible. This is a game where you just can't be skipping it in game mode, even if you don't like it. Just do the bare minimum, just so you can get the rewards and resources, so you can go focus on the things that you do enjoy. Also, take the game at your own pace. It's a game. Have fun. Here's all the codes that we have right now. I will have these down in the comments below, so you can just very quickly copy paste them. I will be updating that as a pinned comment. If you ever want to know, hey, is there any more codes, you can go check that out there, and it should be down in the pinned comments below. So anyway, guys, thanks so much for watching. Like, subscribe, and I will be streaming here on YouTube as well as Twitch for day 1. So we'll be doing a free-to-play account as well as on my whale account, where we'll be doing $2,000 worth of pools. So stay tuned, and I'll see you guys all then. Bye.